Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Alicia and I'm back with another DIY video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this memorial or celebration of life t-shirt. If you've lost a loved one of these t-shirts will be a beautiful and cost-effective way of celebrating their life. All you'll need is, of course, a t-shirt, dark transfer paper, an iron, and a printer. It's super easy to make and they came out beautifully. So I thought, why not share this with my YouTube fam? To make this t-shirt, I am using my Blue Heaven Wings memorial design. You can find it on my website at createyourdreams.com. I will leave all the links down below in the description box. All of my images are instant downloads, so once you check out, a download box will pop up on the checkout page and you can open your image and save it. Now I know a lot of people use Canva and Microsoft to edit their designs or graphics, but I personally enjoy using PicMonkey. PicMonkey usually offers a 14-day free trial if you're not already a subscriber. Since I'm already subscribed, I'm going to go ahead and log into my account and show you how to edit this using PicMonkey. Now that I'm logged in, I'm going to go over to Create New and hit Blank Canvas. Scroll down to where it says Print Sizes and choose the 8.5 by 11 inch. Of course, you can choose the size that works best for you. These t-shirts are for adults and I want the design to be big, so I'm using the biggest size that I can print the transfer paper on. Now this is how your screen should look. Now we're going to add our design by going to where it says add image and then hit the computer tab and search for your design on your computer or laptop or tablet and open it. Once your design pops up, it'll show up on the side of the PicMonkey. Just click on your design one time and that will transfer it over into your blank template. Now that our design is up, we want to go ahead and add our picture. So we go right back into add image and go ahead and look for the picture that you want to put on this design and upload it just like how we uploaded the image with the clouds. It'll once again pop up on the side and click that picture one time. Now that it's in the center of our design, I'm going to go ahead and hit crop because mine is a social media picture. So I'm going to go ahead and just crop out the white sides on the top and the bottom. And after I go ahead and crop that, I'm going to go over to where it says remove background and hit that once. One thing I love about PicMonkey is the remove background feature. It usually removes all of the background of a picture, just like that. Very clear and nice. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to size that to our liking. Now that I went ahead and sized the picture the way that I wanted, we're going to go ahead and add some text to this. So you go to the side where it says text and you hit the add text button one time. Now the font that I use in this design is called Brushability, and I will leave that information and the font color information in the description box in case you wanted to use the same font in the same color. But feel free to use whatever color and whatever style font you want. I just felt like this particular style went really good with the entire design. So after adding her name, I didn't like the way it looked just going straight across. So I went back to the side and where it says curved text, I went ahead and tried to give her name like a round kind of look. It just gave it a better look to me overall. And you can go ahead and make it as round as you want or as less round as you want, if that makes sense. But I just wanted her name to kind of hang over her and kind of a, how you want to say, heavenly type of a look, if that makes sense to you. So I just went ahead and rounded that out, and I felt like that made it look even better. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and also add text to the bottom. I'm going to put forever in our hearts, and I'm going to use the same exact font and color as her name. Then I'm going to go back into the curved text and kind of curve that upward. But you can go ahead and design it however you feel free of whatever works for you. This is just what I felt looked right for this particular design. Okay, so now that I got my text the way that I want it to look in the image, I want to also add some shadow to it to make it pop. So right on the side underneath curved text, it says shadows and outline, and the top says shadow. So once you click shadow one time, it'll add like a shadow backdrop to your text. So you click on the text first, then you go to shadows and outline and press shadows, and you see how that makes the wording pop, where it stands out or it looks like it's floating within a cloud. I love that. Now you can go ahead and edit some more if you choose to and kind of play around with the pick monkey, but I'm satisfied with the way that it looks. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit where it says download and download the JPEG version of this image. Go ahead and save it, and I'm going to use my cell phone and print it on my inkjet printer. So this is how our image looks coming out of the printer. The color is nice. The lighting in my room is not that great. It's actually raining today, but the image came out so pretty. I wish you guys can see the full brightness of it, but I'm very satisfied. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep my t-shirt and get ready to iron this thing on. So to prep my t-shirt, all I do is lay it down flat, and I use a piece of tape and roll it around so that it's sticky all the way around. And what I do is I just dab it on top of the t-shirt to get any little pieces of like hair or any lint or any debris that might be on a t-shirt, especially on a white t-shirt. It always seems to be a small piece of hair or thread or something that gets on the shirt. So you want your t-shirt to be wrinkle free, and you want it to also be debris free before putting the design on there, if that makes sense. So I just go ahead and just roll the tape around on a t-shirt and just get whatever I can get off of the t-shirt. And then after I do that, I go ahead and take my iron and just run it over the t-shirt a few times to get as much wrinkles out as possible. We want to make sure this t-shirt is smooth and clean before we put our transfer design on our t-shirt. Now, after you iron it, you want to let your t-shirt cool off for a second before you begin to put the transfer design on there. Because if you don't, it'll start to stick to the t-shirt really, really quickly, and you don't want that. So here's our design. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pin, a sewing pin, and just go ahead and use that to help pick up the edge of the transfer paper, because we have to separate the image from the actual transfer paper backing. So one pin will do the job just fine. You don't want to poke the image, just press it down a little bit, and then it'll separate the transfer paper from the backing. And go ahead and pull it apart, but don't pull it apart too hard. Just go ahead and pull it carefully so you don't want to tear the actual image itself. And once you get the image off the back end, just go ahead and you line it up on your t-shirt, center it to where it looks good before you actually put the heat to it and start to iron your transfer onto your t-shirt. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I use dark transfer paper. Even on light colors, like white colors, I still use dark. And the reason is because when you use a light transfer paper, you have to mirror the image before you iron it onto the t-shirt. Some people might not know how to do that, and also the darker transfer images last a lot longer, in my opinion, than the light color transfer images. So once you go ahead and you center it, you can go ahead and use the tissue paper that comes in the transfer paper packet and put it over the image and go ahead and start to iron it on. Right here, I'm giving you guys an up close image because I want you to see how it looks when the image is not finished. You'll know when you need to add more heat if there's blotchy spots, or I call them ashy spots, on the image. So if you can look in her arms, you can really see it in her jeans, those blotchy spots. That means more heat needs to be added to the image. You don't want to add too much heat because you don't want to burn the image, but you want to add enough to where it finishes the entire image. So I'm just going to go ahead and iron it for a little bit longer and come back and show you guys how the end result looks. So here is how our t-shirt looks. And keep in mind that while I was ironing the design, I was checking it to make sure that there was enough heat. So you want to do that as you iron it. You want to always check while you're doing it. And also do not iron it without that tissue paper. And here is a more up close look of it in the light. I'll put it close to my window on my clothing rack so you guys can see really how it looks in the lighting. And after I made about 5 of them, I went ahead and packaged them up, and this is how it looks when they're in the package. These are actually going to a neighbor of mine who lost a very close family member. So these will actually help in the grieving process, you know, so you can celebrate the person's life. It's beautiful. She looks beautiful on the shirt. The color is beautiful. I love it. I think it came out amazing. I know my neighbor is going to love them. And so I hope you guys loved it, and thank you for checking out my video, and be sure to comment and subscribe because I'll definitely be adding more videos in the future. Thank you so much, YouTube. Have a good night and God bless.